Well, let's discuss this now with Paul Ingram in London. He's a senior research associate at Cambridge University's Center for the Study of Existential Risk. Paul, certainly positive signs after this meeting between Grossi and high-level officials in Iran, but are you confident Iran will follow through with what it's agreed to in this joint statement?
So I'm confident that Iran will follow through with a lot of what's in the statement. The devil is, as always, in the detail. But I think Raphael, in his statement, was very clear that the spirit, the atmosphere was very positive, and he feels confident, and his opinion's more important than mine. He feels confident that Iran's cooperation with the IAEA will improve. Raphael is no Iran sympathizer. He has been very critical of Iran in the past and its record of engagement. So the fact that he is coming back with this message of optimism, I think, ought to be some sense of positivity. But we can't completely trust that this deal will deliver confidence, and I have very little confidence that some of the key parties on the other end of this conflict, particularly the Israelis, but also the Americans, will themselves follow through and rejoin the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, because they are deeply skeptical. And it's very difficult to overcome skepticism. As Raphael himself said, it takes time, patience, and a great deal of work. So this is only the beginning, even if this is a positive road that we can see towards more collaboration and more confidence that this is not a nuclear weapons program.
All right. Well, I exactly wanted to ask you next about the JCPOA. What could this all mean for efforts to restore the nuclear deal between Iran and the West?
Well, I think it demonstrates that the Iranians are keen to get back onto track with this agreement. Bear in mind, it was the Americans that left it under President Trump, with no particular evidence that Iran was not keeping to the deal, and that has led to a lot of bad blood within Iran. So it's quite interesting and notable that Iran has chosen, despite the fact that they have been very aggrieved by the behavior of the Americans, to come back and welcome the agency in. I think it is a bid to the Americans in particular to put their money where their mouth is and actually rejoin the agreement. The Biden administration contested the election on the back of a promise to rejoin the agreement, but it hasn't done so because largely because the Iranians have not been willing to just go back in without some sort of a guarantee that the Americans would not just leave at the first opportunity. This, of course, has had a great deal of impact upon the Iranian economy, and I think the Iranians are very keen to get this back on track.
Yeah, is that why then we're seeing these conciliatory gestures, this cooperation from Iran now? Is it because of the sanctions? Is that particularly making it difficult in Iran now?
Well, there's no doubt that the economy has been suffering, but having confidence that it is the sanctions that are causing Iran to come back to cooperation is heroic and is based on a certain mindset. I mean, I could also equally say that the Iranians were very committed to the agreement, but then they lost the other side, and they have been trying to play a game, a strategy to get the Americans back into the agreement and to get the benefits that they were looking for. There's no doubt that sanctions played a role. The question that I don't think is possible to answer is whether sanctions were the only reason, or whether the Iranians actually have been playing quite a long game here to try and actually have a nuclear program that serves their interests, but also demonstrates a certain deterrent value against the Israelis attacking and against other enemies from isolating Iran. How successful this has been, by the Iranians is a matter of great debate, but I don't think that this is as simplistic as many people paint it. This isn't Iran just simply running for the nuclear weapon. Iran could easily have had a nuclear weapon by now had it done so. But I think it is a game of cat and mouse, and it's a game of Iran seeking leverage over much more powerful states.
All right, we'll leave it there. Paul Ingram joining us from London. Thank you.
Mm.